Hey, everybody, welcome back. I am really excited to have Tracy Callahan here. And Tracy, thanks for doing this with me. Tracy, as I've noted, is the co-founder of Coaches Academy and has a really interesting perspective on how we put children first. So
Yeah.
welcome.
Thanks so much. Thanks, Krista. It's a pleasure to be here.
Yeah, it's great. I actually have somebody on my team training under Tracy right now. And so I feel like I have a little bit of special insight into the kind of work you do, which is super important. Where are you located physically?
Yeah, I'm physically in Florida. I kind
Okay.
of jump between New York City and Palm Beach.
Okay.
Doesn't
All
suck.
right.
I'm not
Eh,
gonna sucks, Krista.
yeah, it doesn't suck. And I will say we're recording this in early December, so I'm jealous because I'm looking at a lot of snow out here in Colorado. Even though I
Yeah.
love it, it's very, very cold. I got my space heater on and my Uggs on. So
Yes. And
uh
I'm still sporting a pair of white jeans and a short sleeve
oh yeah,
blouse.
there you go. That gets the difference. So I want to focus on children's voices, but I do have a question just generally about divorce coaching, because I don't think I've had any other divorce coaches on the show yet. And so I think there might be a bias that a divorce coach is someone who is hired to go to war, like
Mhm.
help a client go to war, like give me a spine and help me fight. And is that's just not right, is it? I mean, aren't you're at least not for you. Is that true generally? Or you really, I know you're bringing your mediator heart and background to this. So are you
Yeah.
really trying to bring more sanity to it and more like a place of peace and healing and looking forward and manage that as opposed to like alignment
Yeah, I
person?
love this question, Krista, because any chance I can to educate in terms of what divorce coaching is, I am so honored and appreciative, and
Yeah.
so I respond to this question with such gratitude. There is a lot of misnomer in terms of what divorce coaching is and the practice of divorce coaching, and for all intents and purposes, it is a relatively young field. The term was actually coined in the 1990s by a divorce attorney. Her name was Kim Laurie. She has since passed. But as she was doing it, it was really to support clients in navigating the process of divorce, not as an advocate, but to support them in guiding and understanding what was involved in the process. Since then, unfortunately, there was a lot of individuals, sorry, I'm gonna throw some gender on this, women who
Mhm.
went through their own divorce process, who then decided that because of their divorce process, they were going to be the person for all these people so they don't have to experience this.
Mhm.
These individuals were not trained. Their only qualification was their own experience. And I don't want to dismiss that experience, but it is one tiny, tiny component of the work that we do in divorce coaching. So then what happened as then these individuals were like, oh, well, maybe we need some training. Oh, it fell to life coaching model.
Mhm.
And then now all of these life coaches, again, no offense to life coaches. I think life coaches play a very important role in people's lives if that's something that you use or are interested in. But again, not divorce coaching. Divorce coaching is defined by the American Bar Association as a form of dispute resolution.
Hmm.
Our goal is to work with clients in developing the skills necessary to minimize conflict, to reach resolution in the most time efficient and cost effective way with a very future focused mindset. We are one of the only, aside from conflict coaching, so divorce coaching is really foundationally conflict coaching. We are the only individual dispute resolution process and family work that really is significant in supporting clients and doing everything from making decisions about whether they are interested in getting divorced, all the way to the other end of the continuum of supporting the transition of those co parenting relationships from those of being stakeholders in each other's lives as spouses to that of co-parents. The foundation or the thread that carries through all of this is conflict. And what we know about conflict is that most external conflict starts with an internal conflict, a threat. We like to talk about David Rock's SCARF domain: status, certainty, relatedness, autonomy, fairness. When those things are threatened, which
Yeah.
they very much are in divorce, right? We are going to see threat, external threat, which then is going to lead to conflict, where people get grounded in this very positional thinking of the what. And we help clients move to an interest based thought process of the why. And engaging and figuring out how their thinking and feeling is creating obstacles or barriers to reaching that resolution. So it's very education skills based, but all grounded in conflict and dispute resolution. So there is no, we are neutral to the outcome. We're not necessarily neutral to our clients as we are in as mediators, but it takes on a very different feel. And we are the only ones supporting clients and being prepared for these other processes.
What are the proper certifications?
So really there's only, well, there's a few people. There's us, Divorce Coaches Academy, that certifies divorce coaches in alignment with the American Bar Association's definition of divorce coaching, which is ADR grounded. Um, the CDC, not to be confused with the Centers for Disease Control, which is very confusing.
Yeah,
They
that is confusing.
certified divorce coaching program. They were the first ones. They were established in 2009. My initial training and certification came from them.
Okay.
They are ICF grounded. They are grounded in a life coaching model. I worked with them for 7 years trying to change that and expand that. And they weren't interested in it. So I went and created Divorce Coaches Academy. There are some other programs, Tina Swithen's program, which is high conflict divorce coach training. That is a whole other beast. That is more people working with people to help them go into advocacy and custody cases.
Okay, so tell us about the process of what people can expect when if they get somebody who is trained by your organization, what should they expect in terms of how it works?
Yeah. So there are also within our field and even within the practice that we certify individuals, there's people who specialize in different things, right? Some people do more co-parenting work, some people do more financial work. So also as you're assessing and looking at it to sort of look and kind of see what are your biggest concerns that are coming up and to be able to find somebody. We mostly all work nationally. We're not limited by state because we don't legally advise. None of us engage in the unauthorized practice of law. So
Mhm.
we can provide legal education, but we do not legally advise, yet we can support clients in working more efficiently and effectively with their attorneys. So once you then identify a couple, I encourage a couple. Almost all of us offer free consultations, and that is a 20-minute, usually virtual dialogue with the divorce coach so you can get a feel. There is something about divorce coaching, though, it's action oriented and it's not the right format for people. It's basically saying that I want something to change. I want to be part of this. It's not sitting back magical thinking that this is going to happen. It
Mhm.
is client involved work with a
Mhm.
commitment to get to their desired outcome.
And
We're
it's not
supporting them in
therapy.
it
It's
is
not
not
therapy.
it is not therapy. The best way I could describe this is if an individual client showed up with a suitcase, a therapist would open it up and say, "Hey, why did you pack this?" Right? Looking backwards, why all of these things happen. The work that we do is future focused, and we would say, "Hey, Krista, where you going?"
Mhm.
Um, because it's not necessarily the past is informing, but it's not entrapping. And there's nothing that we can do about the past except for make decisions about the future. So if that happened, that may be true. I don't want it to look like that anymore. What am I willing to do? So the conflict approach in all of this is we cannot control or change what the other party is doing. We can only control and change what we're doing. So, divorce coaching as a dispute resolution process is action oriented. They are steps that we're actively taking. So, being able to understand that, going into consultation, seeing how you feel in terms of speaking and sharing what your biggest concerns are, allowing that divorce coach to share how they can support you best, and then seeing if that makes sense. Most of us work, we do like catch and release. We don't like long-term committed relationships,
Mhm.
but this isn't a one-off thing. It takes time, it takes work. These are skills that have to be developed. It doesn't just happen, and we're not crisis management services.
Hmm.
So, yes, something might have happened, and yes, you can be in conflict and we can process it, but then where are we going? What's after that and working
Hmm.
towards that? So, it is a process. People freak out a little sometimes of, oh my God, I have to pay an attorney and I have to pay this. We will always say the two byproducts of ADR focused divorce coaching is save time and money. I'm going to say the piece that's actually priceless is your peace and the well being of your family.